Is this movie not as cool as it sounds, but at the same time, it's a decent enough watch. Basically, the Joker and Penguin have broken out of Arkham to find this treasure, and the Penguin ends up stumbling upon Dracula. Why is Dracula sealed within Gotham's cemetery? Shut up, that's why. And the Penguin involuntarily awakens Count Dracula, who goes about the city at night while he enthralls the Penguin to go out during the day, kidnapping various people, creating more thralls and blood sacks for Dracula to feed on as he just continues to consume more and more of Gotham. Batman, meanwhile, in the most hokey way possible, deduces that the kind Dr. Alucard who has appeared on the scene is actually Dracula somehow. It's almost as though Alucard was just Dracula spelled backwards, or something like that. There's also this gruesome scene in the movie where Joker falls into the water after being chased down by Batman, and when the Joker tries to grab Batman's hand with a joy buzzer, electrified as it is, he falls in the water and it looks like he falls to his death. So this movie continues the tradition of Joker surviving things that he damn well shouldn't. The one fun thing about this movie is the fact that people see Dracula as this bat-like creature stalking the night, and so of course the police think, oh, it's Batman. So they chase him down instead. And Batman and Dracula have these various clashes here and there, but it's obvious that Dracula is just too powerful for Batman. But Batman, after encountering a vampirized Joker, manages to synthesize a cure. Because, Dracula existed in the time when medicine was seen as witchcraft, and Batman is on that next level technology-ish. So he's able to whip up a cure quick, fast, and in a hurry, and goes after after Dracula. Meanwhile, there's also this subplot with Vicky Vale actually being introduced in this movie, despite the fact that she's not portrayed prominently in the Batman animated series, which always felt like a bit of a loss to me, but they mostly push the Bruce and Selina angle instead of the Bruce and Vicky angle. And he stands her up anyway, but unfortunately, Vicky kind of reminds Dracula of his lost vampire love, and so he kidnaps Vicky in order to sacrifice her to resurrect his bride. So not only is Batman needing to deal with a horde of vampires that is ever growing within Gotham, but also the fact that Vicky, his love interest, which he shows little next to no interest in, is about to be sacrificed. So he goes into Dracula's lair, guns blazing, sending out cures to all of the lost ones, as they were, people who were kidnapped and drained of blood by Dracula, turning them back to normal left, right, and center. Unfortunately, you can't really cure Dracula because he's a pure vampire. He wasn't changed by anyone. He was born this way. But it is through the stupidest MacGuffin possible, a sunlight generator that Bruce Wayne just happened to have, that stores sunlight and just exposes it when you need it. I guess it would be fine for like solar powered stuff if you've had a lot of darkness around and stuff. I forget the explanation for that generator. But there is this really cool end scene where Batman just exposes Dracula to this machine, and Dracula is slowly turned to like this brittle form by the sunlight as Batman just comes in and stomps him to dust. It was pretty awesome. And as the Penguin is released from being a thrall of Dracula, he ends up stumbling upon the treasure that he was trying to find, only for him to immediately be arrested and blamed for all the people who went missing. So yeah, it's a very standard ride. There's not really too much to this movie. The biggest selling point is the action, which was always the selling point of the Batman. The combat, the action, the gadgets, that was the big draw to the Batman series. Granted, it was taken from the same people who made Jackie Chan Adventures, which, again, Jackie Chan Adventures' whole thing was the action, the kung fu, the martial arts, the mysticism, all that good stuff. So it makes sense that that would really be what they brought their A game to when it came to this storyline. Do I feel like you could have done more with this story? Given the more kid-friendly nature of the Batman in comparison to Batman the Animated Series, I think they did the best they could. Honestly, they pushed the envelope a little bit harder with this movie than they thought they would. Having Dracula actually draining blood and corpses, even though they were undead corpses and stuff like that, and a few things here and there that were pretty dark imagery, especially for kids, but nothing that went too over the top. And despite the fairly generic nature of this movie, this was as close as the Batman ever got to almost being like Batman the Animated Series, which is a good compliment coming from me, honestly. But if most other people didn't see it that way, I would not be surprised. But I remember when this movie came out, I enjoyed it for the most part. It was fairly interesting, but it's just one of those movies you'd watch if you were just marathoning DC stuff, watching through the Batman actual animated series, or just had morbid curiosity, wanted to throw something on for you and your friends to watch. It's a very inoffensive movie. Except for the way that Batman finds out about Dracula being in Gotham. That's the only thing in this movie that is just like, yeah, no, that was dumb. That was so dumb. That was miles of dumb. And that was it. But yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Was this the Batman vs. Dracula movie that you always wanted, or were you looking for something more in the vein of Red Rain, which, yeah, you're never going to get that. Maybe. I mean, DC animated movies have been running the gauntlet in terms of Batman stories, so, I mean, Red Rain would be a decent story to adapt, but oof, that might be a little too hardcore for some people. This was as child friendly of a Batman versus Dracula story as you're ever gonna get. And I'm perfectly fine with that. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.